Hi everyone, my name is Cassandra Fleckinger, or I like to go by Cassie. So, in the thread of discussions, I would please ask that you refer to me by that because I just feel like Cassandra's too formal. So, I currently reside in Independence, Kentucky. I am from Northern Kentucky. Independence is in Northern Kentucky, about 20 minutes outside of Cincinnati. If you knew where like the CVG airport is, I'm about 15 minutes away from there. And so I am a mother. I have two children. I have a son that's 10 years old. His name's Gavin. And I have a daughter that's 7. Her name is Brianna. I'm married to my husband, Greg. And so we have been married since 2012, but we've been together since 2008. We've been friends since 2004. So we do have a long history. I am a collector at Citibank. I've been there for 9 years now. And then just some of my hobbies. I obviously I love music. I love particularly worship music, painting, drawing, all kinds of crafts. Do it yourself type of things, and just tending to plants and gardening. Um, so that's just a general. I guess that's how you sort of see my personality. Um, I am 32 years old. And so I have been a Christian ever since I was 25. I got saved on April 27th, 2014. I was an atheist. I was a rude atheist that would laugh in your face. And the Lord, the Lord, I had an experience with the Lord. Actually, I had an experience with a demon. And that's the only thing that changed my mind. And it literally scared the hell out of me. And so because of the grace of God, I have been saved. Praise the Lord. And so yeah, it's been a great what 7 years? Yeah, it's been about 7 years. So you know, I never thought I would be called to be a pastor, but the Lord had different plans, and here I am. I'm in, Lee University. I'm in my 4th year. I graduate here in May, and I'll be graduating with my bachelor's degree in ministerial leadership with a pastoral emphasis. So I have been called into women's ministry, particularly. I don't know what that looks like after I graduate, but I do know that, I've been talking with my pastor. I think I'm doing an internship. There might be a possibility or a chance that I could be going to the do a state, like a COG state test for exhorter, and then become a licensed ordained minister. So we'll see what happens with that. That's if the Lord wills it, but if not, then I'm okay not doing that either. I know the Lord will guide me wherever He wants, whatever He wants me to do. Um, so yeah, right now I'm on the prayer ministry. That's the big one that we're still doing um, here and there. And so, COVID-19, came and sort of, I don't know, it limited, unfortunately, it did limit a lot of stuff. Although, while I disagree, I do know we have to use godly wisdom and all that. But yeah, I mean, some people are afraid to come and get prayers, but we're still praying. And then like the greeters, I normally do greet, but we haven't done that. So because of ever since COVID started. And so yeah, I've been in children's ministry for what 2 or 3 years. I'm no longer doing that. I've been in elementary age, nursery, all that. Band ministry. Um, and so it's only fitting that, we're taking this course, Christian leadership. And so the first question is, what does it mean to be a Christian leader? So I do believe that a Christian leader is obviously someone who, guides um, their people with under the rule of Jesus. And so, this would, giving godly advice, praying with them, just being really rooted in the Lord. And so, Christ has to be the center of everything. And so, just really, you have to have the fruit of the Spirit. And so that sort of goes into the second question, that, what's the difference between leadership and Christian leadership? And so, current leadership, that would be, I don't know, just, I mean, that they direct everybody, they're in charge. Same thing with Christian leadership. Well, I shouldn't say that. Okay, so they do direct, but the one who's really in charge is in God. And any Christian leader, anybody who listens to the Lord, they know God's in charge. And so the big difference is the Christian leader fears the Lord. And so they let the Lord direct their path in all aspects of the ministry. There should be fruit of the Spirit. There should be evidence of the Lord in their life, and that they're spending time with the Lord, and that they do know the Word. And so that's the real big thing. The other thing is, this sort of leads into the next question, is what biblical passages inform your understanding of leadership? And so a big one is being a servant. In order to be a leader, you have to be a servant first. That is so important. You have to be a servant before you can do anything else in ministry. I just think I cannot emphasize that enough. Like, you have to be the lowest. You have to humble yourself. And so that would be Mark 10:42-45, and it says, Jesus called them together and said, "You know that those who are regarded as rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their high officials exercise authority over them. Not so with you. Instead, whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be first must be a slave of all. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." I believe that's the go-to one. I mean, I don't know. That just sort of says everything perfectly. And so that should really definitely, be the foundation of Christian leadership. I mean, there's so many other good ones, but that one's sort of really straightforward. And then let's see, what's the last question? So what questions that you have about Christian leadership that you hope to have answered in the course? So, like, the big one, I think we've seen more recently, I'm just going to use this as an example, but, and I'm not a follower. I don't follow, Hillsong's teaching, but if you're in the news, you do know that the big, Pastor Carl Lentz, from Hillsong, New York, he was actually fired because of adultery. And so that made headlines everywhere, and everything was out on Front Street, and they just sort of fired him. And of course, we don't know all the details or anything, but I've seen little scenarios that are similar to this, where someone will sin, and it's almost like, well, it seems like they just get fired. And it's like, is that really the right thing to do in leadership? Is that setting a good example? If I don't know, because it makes us look like we're just not grace givers. And so I guess one question I have that I would really like answered in this course is, what are the lines for when a leader needs to be expelled? And where are the times where grace needs to be given, and maybe they just need to take a sabbatical and just take a break, but then maybe get back into it. I mean, because I think that's a gray area. I think we need to have more discussions on that. And so that's the main one I have. I guess just sin and leadership. It's present, and I think we definitely need to talk about it more. Thank you. Have a good night.